Hello everyone, my name is Taxalba and welcome back to the Lovecraftian Video Game Retrospective. Welcome to Shadow Over Isolation, an upcoming first-person adventure game. Currently the game is only available as a demo, but is apparently being released in the first half of 2017, so it should be available in the next 5 or 6 weeks. With regard to the demo, you take the role of a young man who's investigating the farm of his aunt and uncle in rural America of the 1980s. His aunt and uncle live in an isolated community, which is also a place where a corporation is active. The corporation is apparently into investigating alternative fuels, but naturally there's more behind it than one might initially think. With regard to gameplay, the game is a traditional adventure game with the exception of the first-person 3D mode. You do what you would expect to do. You explore the environment, you take items, you combine items with stuff. There's a couple of dedicated more mechanical puzzles. Overall there's nothing really groundbreaking, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because in my opinion adventure design has actually aged reasonably well, and making your game a traditional adventure is a valid choice. There's 2 additional features that I think are quite nice. There's a notebook in which your character keeps note of what currently needs to be done, which is nice as a reminder when you restart the game. Is also nice for people who have issue keeping track of such quests in their head or don't want to take physical notes. And there's also so-called grey meta mode, in which your character either explains a couple of background details he remembers from his childhood on the farm or visiting the farm, and it also recaps what we've learned so far, which is also nice, because despite you taking the role of a character, it still means that you don't quite see and remember everything as he does. The graphics are actually quite nice. There's a couple of shoddy textures, but overall there's a lot of individual assets. The game looks quite nice, and it's also quite colorful. The developers did not fall into the trap of making everything brown and realistic, quote unquote, and despite the colors, the game actually has a slightly creepy atmosphere, so that was a job pretty well done, I'd say. And with regard to music and sound, there's a little bit of ambient background music. The sound is adequate, there's nothing groundbreaking here, but it does a job for what it wants to do, at least in the demo that's available as of now. With regard to Lovecraftian elements, as of now the game feels a little bit more like Resident Evil with regard to the story, even though it lacks Resident Evil's campiness. But we'll see how many Lovecraftian elements get worked into it. Naturally the story is at least partially based on the Shadow Over Infamous, as so many stories, but as said before, I don't really blame the people for that, because it's a very good story, and it's also one of the stories that's most suitable to be turned into a video game, or at least to inspire video games. And there's a couple of things I have to criticize, and one of them is, or the main issue is actually the performance. You can play around with the game settings a little bit, but nevertheless the game performed a little bit poorly on my system. There were a couple of frame drops, and occasionally the game had to load when I was just entering a building, even though it was a really small area, and there shouldn't be any issue loading the entire area when the game starts, or having no loading screen at all. But hopefully that will be fixed in the future and the game will perform a bit better. I'm going to give you a link to the demo on Steam, and I recommend to have a look at the game, try out the demo, and keep an eye open. If the main game can hold up what the demo promises, then this game would get a recommendation from me. For now, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.